Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. I'm Raven Maureen, and today I'm going to be sharing with you a pattern review for Nomi Pattern ME 2016 by designer Nikki Brooks, aka Beauty J'adore. So if this pattern sounds familiar to you, it is because this is my second time making this, and I actually had to look back in my videos and make sure that I hadn't done a pattern review for this before. Now granted, there is a sewing vlog that I did for it, and I think I talk about it in a sewing roundup, but no specific video talking about this pattern at length. And so this is that video if that's what you're looking for. Sidebar, as you guys can see, I have braids in my hair. I did them myself. They're not perfect, but they're gonna work out. I'm doing it for Cowboy Carter, so you know it'll be underneath the hat. It's gonna be cute. Anyway, so back to the pattern. So I did cut out view A again, and I made a size 18. So right then and there, there's no change from when I made this back in December 2024 to now. Now I will say that when I made the one in December, it was all black, and it's like a broadcloth that I got from Hobby Lobby. I just envisioned this dress in all black. And then when I made the all black version, I was like, this will be real cute in all white. And so this kind of happened naturally. So now I have a black version and I have a white version. So the stretch poplin that I used for this time is from Mood, and I actually bought like 13 yards of it because I used it to make another pattern as well. And so with 13 yards, I had like 6.5 for this pattern, 6.5 for the other, and it was like the perfect amount, especially because the fabric from Mood was like 45 inches, which is very rare for them, but in this instance, it was about 45 inches, maybe closer to 50, but it was still, again, that's a rare occurrence for Mood. The fabric is now sold out. However, I'm going to keep my eye on it, my good eye, because I want some more. Like, that fabric sewed up like a dream. If you are looking for something to really make like a beautiful summer dress, blouse, set, or something, like that fabric, chef's kiss. So the other thing about making this a second time, I made this differently than the first time I made it. So the first time I made it, I had an exposed zipper in the back. I put a bias binding around the collar, and then I actually did not include the sleeve heads. If you don't know what a sleeve head is, it's like this extra piece of fabric that you would put into the sleeve to make it poofier and give volume. And to be completely honest, my ignorance with making this pattern the first time, I was like, I don't need a sleeve head. This sleeve is poofy enough. More on that later. So the first time, again, I had an exposed zipper in the back, and that's because one, I ran out of black fabric and I did not want to buy more black fabric in the event that the black dye would not match, right? So I was kind of like paranoid about that. And so I was trying to just use what I had in my stash. And so I didn't have any sort of like lining to make an invisible zipper. I ended up using an exposed zipper, and I don't even think I had a black invisible zipper. So it was like a lot of like rare occurrences happening with the first time I made this. And so because the bodice has to have a lining in the original instructions in this pattern, I omitted the lining, and then I put a bias binding around the neck, which technically does work for this pattern. However, this time in making the white version, I made it according to the pattern instructions, and this made a huge difference in just how this pattern lays on me. So by all means, I love the black one. But one of the biggest differences that I noticed was how the sleeves are. In my white one, I actually included the sleeve heads this time because, again, I noticed that the black one was collapsing. And so in adding the sleeve head, you guys are going to think I'm nuts. I noticed that now I really can't see over the sleeve. And so I'm like, every time somebody's saying something to me, I'm trying to look over my own shoulder because the sleeve is so big. But I love how exaggerated and how big it is. So if you're going to make this pattern, if this is your first rodeo with this pattern, definitely include the sleeve heads for the drama, for sure. I will say though that I know that I keep talking about sleeve heads and whatnot. When you're wearing it out and about though, when you're wearing it out and about, a lot of people, actually no one will ever notice that your sleeves are less poofy or whatever. They're just looking at how beautiful the dress is. And so if sleeve heads are just kind of out of your comfort zone or you don't feel like it's necessary, you're right, it's not absolutely necessary. And to the naked eye, most people will not notice it, but to us as sewists, we're gonna notice that, especially if you made the pattern. The second thing was that I added the invisible zipper this time. So you guys are gonna think I'm crazy for this one too. My invisible zipper was not long enough to go past the bodice. So I had to improvise a little bit with the length. I made it work. I can't really describe in words how I made it work, but I made it work, okay? But there's an invisible zipper back there. It's lined. And I thought the lining was going to be way more important with the white one versus the black one. The white one, you know, not to say it's transparent, but it is white fabric. And so you have to be careful about your undergarments. So I was more intentional about making this one lined, at least at the top. I did not make it lined in the skirt. And for that, I have to be very conscious about the undergarments that I wear. So I kind of have like these like nude biker shorts type thing that I wear. And so I've worn it with that, and I feel like it offers more coverage, especially because I don't have a lining in the skirt. And the pattern doesn't necessarily call for lining in the skirt, but seeing that it is white fabric, it probably would have been a wise thing to do. So if you're just stumbling upon this pattern, you're trying to figure out where to wear it to, where to find inspo and all that other stuff, I will tell you that this pattern has a cult following. Like, every time I turn around, someone has this pattern and they're making it, and it's not just like the girls in the United States. This is like worldwide. The girlies in the UK ate this up. The girlies in Australia ate this up. Us in the United States, we ate this up. And it's the sleeves, it's the skirt, it's everything that has to do with it. And I've seen this remixed and done so well as like something for a wedding versus something for, you know, just for funsies. I've seen it hacked where you have like the long V-neck, which by the way, I think Nikki actually has like on her YouTube channel how to do that. But I've seen this hacked into just a blouse. I've seen so many variations of this, and to be honest with you, I wouldn't even, me myself, I would not rule out making a third one because it's just that good. So if we're talking about where you can wear this to, work, church, meeting the parents, brunch with the girls, anywhere, honestly, special occasions. If you look on social media, a lot of makers have worn this, I noticed, to a lot of weddings and a lot of special occasions. So there's that. And the fabric does call for cotton blends, linen blends, seersucker, novelty sequin, double knit, taffeta, gauze. I really feel like that's like a very limited list, and you can go even further than that. I've seen it in like Mikado. I've seen it in just so many beautiful different fabrics. So anyway, all right, y'all, I know that was short and sweet and to the point. That's how we like it over here sometimes. Now, if you like this video, don't forget to comment, like, and subscribe for me. And if you're not following me already, you can follow me at Raven Maureen on Instagram, TikTok, and Threads. I'll see y'all next time. Bye.